Chinese history has seen many golden ages: the Rule of Zhenguan, the Kaiyuan Prosperity, and the Kangxi Qianlong golden age. These names almost every Chinese person learns growing up. History books describe these times as times of great wealth, expanding territory, neighboring nations paying tribute, and the world looking toward China. But there is one question that history classes never ask: were these golden ages for ordinary people really a golden age? If you were not an emperor, not a government official, not a general, but just an ordinary farmer working the land, would you feel you were living in a golden age? To answer this question, we first need to understand for an ordinary family what a good life means. It's not about how large the territory is, because it does not directly affect his daily life. It's not about how full the nation or treasury is, because the wealth may never reach him. For an ordinary farming family, good life means only a few things: low taxes, less forced labor, enough land to farm, enough food to eat, and sons who do not have to go to war. Using these standards, let's look at these famous golden ages and see how ordinary people really lived. Let us start with the time of Emperor Wu of Han. He defeated the Xiongnu, opened the Silk Road, and expanded the Han Empire to a size never seen before. This part of history is told as one of China's most heroic stories. Because of all this, was passed through taxing and fixed labor, placed directly on ordinary families. After the state took control of soft and iron production, basic goods in daily life became more expensive. Large-scale military recruitment led countless families without their men workers. During his 54 years on the throne, Emperor Wu launched many major wars. In these later years, historical recorders even wrote, the empire was ruined and half the population was gone. This word shows the real situation of ordinary people in that era. Now, let us look at the Qianlong Golden Age. Some studies estimate that the Chinese economy made up a large share of the world economy during the Qianlong period. Even today, this sounds quite impressive. But the question is, did ordinary people actually feel this prosperity? During the Qianlong period, the population nearly tripled from over 100 million to 300 million. It sounds like a sign of great prosperity, but the growth of population was much faster than the growth of farmland. The country was still prosperous overall, but population pressure and land problems left more and more ordinary families struggling to survive. Land became concentrated in fewer and fewer hands. Many farmers lost their land and became tenant farmers. Not long after the Qianlong year ended, a large-scale white-lotus rebellion broke out during the Qing period. Those who rose up showed history one thing: prosperity on paper and their real lives were two very different things. So, was there a time in history that it could truly be called a gold age for ordinary people? Yes, but that period may not be familiar to many people. The rule of Wen and Jing was a period when Emperor Wen and Emperor Jing ruled the Han Dynasty. The textbooks usually give it only a few lines, far less attention than the year of Emperor Wu. But if you were an ordinary farmer in that time, it might have been the time you most wanted to live in. The tax rate could be as low as 1 part out of 30. Only 1/30 of your harvest went to the state, and the rest belonged to your family. Forced labor was greatly reduced, and strong workers could stay home to farm their land. For decades, there were no major foreign wars, and the sons did not have to leave home for battle. Historical recorders say people had enough grain stored, and even ordinary families could afford to keep horses. But strangely, at the time when people truly lived well were not always most famous periods in history. The rule of Wen and Jing was too quiet. There was no expansion, no major wars, and no dramatic events to excite historians. It simply allowed ordinary people to live stable and peaceful lives for several decades. But this kind of quiet in historical storytelling is rarely something written about in great detail. There is something here worth thinking about. History loves to record a change, wars, expansion, and the rise and fall of dynasties. But what ordinary people need is often the opposite: stability, not change. Stable taxes, a predictable life, and workers not taken away for war or labor. This is what a true golden age really means for ordinary people. But times like this are largely remembered by history. There is a deeper reason behind all of this. When a dynasty seeks expansion, wars, or great projects, it needs to gather more and more resources. And these resources almost always come from ordinary people. The reason the rule of Wen and Jing was good for ordinary people was because it is too ample to restraint. No expansion, no massive building projects, allowing society to slowly recover on its own. But restraint, in the way history is told, has never been the most celebrated quality. This is why the Golden Age is remembered by history, and the time when ordinary people truly lived well are often not the same thing. 700 years ago, Zhang Yanghao was sent to Shanxi to provide disaster relief and pass through Tongguan. He had once been a high-ranking official. He had seen the glory of empire. But on this journey, he also saw the price ordinary people paid behind all that glory. He slowly realized the way a dynasty judged itself was very different from the way ordinary people judged their own lives. And so he wrote those words: when a dynasty rises, the people suffer. When a dynasty falls, the people suffer. History remembers the achievements of a dynasty, but ordinary people remember their own lives. These two things have never been the same thing.